Hey everybody, Paleo Joe here. Well, today I decided to do a quick little video on how we repair bones, dinosaur bones and mammal bones and things like that. I've got a Titanothere vertebra here. Titanothere is just a giant catch-all name for the very large creatures, the large mammalian creatures that once roamed the United States, actually the world. And this one is a Titanothere. It used to be called Brontotherium, and now it's called Megacerops. This is the guy that looked like a giant rhinoceros, had a horn ornamentation on his nose that actually had two horn kind of spikes coming up from his nose. That's what this creature was. Now, this vertebra was found, oh my gosh, about 20 years ago by a friend of mine. He actually went to South Dakota and discovered an area that had just a lot of these bones. And he picked them all up, as many as he could, and never really put them back together. He ended up giving them all to me, and I've been slowly piecing these back together. You may have seen some photos earlier of me actually trying to glue all this stuff back together. It was quite a mess. Well, the problem was when you go to a dig site like that and you really don't have the great experience that you should, sometimes you leave pieces behind. Whenever you dig a fossil dig site, whether it be dinosaur or trilobite or whatever, you want to pick up every little small piece that you can, because they are all quite necessary. In this case, there are pieces missing off the back. There's pieces where the cracks are that are missing. Right there, you can see there's parts missing. It's difficult to try to repair this stuff if you don't have the pieces. But when you don't have the pieces, there are some things you can do. I use a product called PaleoBond, and this is a Paleo Sculpt resin. This resin comes in several colors. This one happens to be natural gray. It also comes in white and black and Jurassic brown and Hell Creek brown. Those are colors that most of the bones that come out of those areas, those are the colors that most of these resins are. That helps you repair and restore it and make it look very presentable to put up at a museum. Now, in some cases, there are museums and universities that don't like the same color. They would prefer to have a different color. That way, when a scientist comes in or anybody comes in, they can actually tell what has been repaired and what has not been repaired. In many cases, for the exhibits that I put on, I keep them the same color as the original bone. It's very aesthetically pleasing that way. In this case, this one really doesn't have the right color, so I am going to still use one of the gray colors to repair some of these things. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me pop off the cover here. Gloves. Got to use gloves. The stuff is really messy. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at the MSDS and material safety data sheets to see if these things are toxic, but I always use gloves when I mix this stuff together. It's actually a two-part resin. There's a hardener, and then there's the resin itself. And when you do this, make sure you buy the right size gloves. These are small gloves, and I've got quite large hands. What you do is you pull out, this is what the putty looks like. This is the hardener. It's kind of a nice gray color already. You pull out a piece of the hardener, and what I'm going to do here, once I get it separated, it's pretty hard. Once I get it separated, I roll it up into a ball. And I'm rolling it, and it's about the size of a ping pong ball. And then I get the resin itself, and I'll pull out the resin. This one, there we go. Just break a couple things here. Oh, I'm losing some of my amber pieces here. You take out the resin, which in this case is also a gray color, and I pull that out of the bucket here. And I'm going to roll that up into a size of a ping pong ball. Hopefully it'll be the same size. If not, I want to try to make sure that it is. So what I'm doing right now is pinching off the excess. And you want to have equal amounts, equal parts. And this stuff hardens. It hardens like a rock. I mean, really, it's a very good resin. It hardens nice and tight. And it will not break. It actually sometimes, you use it almost kind of like a glue sometimes. So roll it up into a ball, and you see the two are approximately the same size. And now you have to knead them together. And as I'm doing that, it's going to take a few minutes. So while we're doing that, let's keep talking. This past year, I was in South Dakota, and I was working with a company called Paleo Paleo-Adventures, guy by the name of Walter Stein. He just built a brand new museum, the Hell Creek Dinosaur Museum. And I was out there and I had a chance to do a review of the museum for Rockin' Gem magazine. I do write for Rockin' Gem from time to time. I've been writing for them for about 3, almost 4 years now. And while I was there, I had the opportunity to go out and dig in the Hell Creek Formation. And I did find a Thescelosaurus femur there. It was a really nice bone. Most of it is complete. There's a little bit of work that's going to need to be done to it. And I'm kneading this stuff. I got the dropsies today. I'm kneading this stuff into one giant piece that's the same color, same texture. It's all kneaded together and mixed thoroughly. And the way you do it, just you knead it together. I mean, that's the only way to do it. And I keep doing that until I get it the right consistency, which is all the same color, all mixed together. And it's saying I've got a slow connection. Oh my gosh. That's not a good thing. So anyway, I'm kneading this together, and once I get it together, it's very malleable. I mean, it's putty. It really is what it is. You can do all sorts of things with it while it's soft. Once it hardens, you can't do anything with it. Okay, I'm looking pretty close here. And what you got to do is you got to find, once you put it together, you got to find the spots that need to be repaired or replaced, and you just put it in with your fingers. Just kind of push it in there. I've got a couple tools I use. I've got one of those tools that dentists use. It's kind of like a little tiny spatula. They use it on your teeth. I use a lot of dental instruments. Dental picks are perfect for paleontology. So need this all together. I think I've got it pretty close. There's the piece. Again, because it's gray, it's hard to tell that it's totally mixed, but it's mixed. I've done it long enough. So now you find a piece that you want to repair or replace, and I've got this big crack right there. You can see daylight through it on the other side. And all you do is just take off a piece big enough you think it's the right size. And this is a lot of trial and error. You just got to do it. And once you get doing it for a while, you'll get the hang of it, and it'll be really quite easy. And then you just press it into the location where it's got to go. And like I said, I use a bunch of different kinds of tools. Once you get it in there, you know, you got to get it all off the places. Oh my gosh, the place you don't want. And this is where some of the tools come in handy. I've got a little bit of excess there. I don't want that much excess. And I pull out some of my dental picks. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of scrape away the excess from where the space is missing. There's a little crack in there. I want to fill that crack. I'm gonna have to do this so I can look at it here. And once that crack is filled, you just push the putty into the space that's missing. Okay? And once you do that, you take some tools or whatever, and you scrape away the excess. And in this case, there's just a little tiny crack there. There's a lot of excess I need to scrape away. And this is hard to do, you know that? Trying doing it for the camera. And again, you just scrape away what you don't need. And a lot of different tools that I use. I use a lot of dental picks. Like I said, I've got that spatula looking thing that dentists use for your teeth. And you just kind of scrape away what you don't need. Now, there's certain types of textures. When I do a Devonian fish, I've actually had a model maker make me some impressions. What I did is I gave him a piece of the armor fish plate, and he made a cast model of it, mold of it, and gave it back to me. So it's got exactly the right texture that I need for my fish. And then I impress that texture into the spaces that are missing. And the cool thing about that is the texture, for dinosaur bones, really there's not a lot of texture to them. You might be able to put in a couple of lines that show the bone texture, but in many cases the bone is pretty smooth, so you don't have to worry a lot about texture. Some of the other fossils that you do this with, you really have to pay very close attention to the texture of what you're doing. Otherwise, the texture is going to look really bad. If the texture is a bumpy texture and you put this stuff in and you leave it flat, it just doesn't look right. So what you got to do is you got to try to replicate that texture. You can either do it with your fingers, with tools, or with different kinds of things. It's showing I got a slow connection again. I'm hoping you guys can see this pretty well. So anyway, I've got the putty in that crack, and now what I'm going to try to do is, again, try to remove all that excess putty that doesn't belong inside that outside that crack. And this is going to take a while, so I'm probably going to stop doing that one. I'll come back and finish that, and I'll move on to another one. Now here you can see the back end of where I put the putty. There's still a very large space right here that needs to be filled. So again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up my putty, grab a chunk of it, and kind of pre-form it so it can fit in that hole really well. Pre-form it, and pick up the bone and insert the putty into that space and push it in as best I can, as hard as I can, into that space, filling it so that it looks like it was when it was original. Now again, remember, whenever you're collecting fossils, bones, whatever kind of creature you're collecting, dinosaur, mammal, whatever it is, you got to make sure you pick up every piece. I did another one recently where there was a beautiful chunk was missing. It was completely gone. It was almost a squarish kind of chunk. And had that one been picked up, the vertebra would have looked absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so now, once I've got that putty in there, you can see it's in there right there, I've got to mold it to what the bone actually looked like. And there's another little piece I need to put in there, so I'll just pull another piece of putty off, just a small piece like that. And I'll stuff it down inside that hole to replicate what it was when this creature was alive. All right, so now I'm getting pretty close to it. That piece was missing down inside the neural arch. This is where right there's a neural arch. That hole right there is where the spinal cord went through, and there's a piece missing down inside that neural arch, so I just replaced that. I just replaced this big chunk that was missing there, and there's a little crack that actually runs down through here. Now again, remember I said you've got to clean off and remove the stuff that doesn't belong. So that little tiny crack is about the width of my tool here, my dental pick. So I have to scrape away all this other stuff that's around it. Otherwise, it's just not going to look right. So basically, that's the way we repair dinosaur bones, mammal bones, and other types of creatures. I'm going to spend some time now, once I get off this this video, to clean this up some. I don't want to waste your time while I'm sitting there trying to scrape it away and clean it away. But basically, this is the way we repair dinosaur bones. In some cases, you'll see that the bones themselves are either a dark brown, like from the Hell Creek Formation, and they use a gray putty like this to show people that, yes, this has been repaired or replaced. In Utah, where I was digging long-necked dinosaurs, got another slow connection here. Come on, pick up connection. There we go. In Utah, where I was digging long-necked dinosaurs, the bones there are really, really dark gray, even black. We have a black putty that we can use there. And for me, for my purposes, I like to try to match the colors. For other scientific purposes, and some museums don't like to match colors, and what they do is they leave the colors just like this. So anybody walking up can look at this and say, aha, that has been repaired or that has been replaced. Well, anyway, thank you all very much for watching this. I've only got 3 live watchers right now. It's too early in the morning, but this will be posted up on Facebook. I hope you guys get a chance to see it and can hang there with me all the way through the rest of the show here. So anyway, thanks a lot, everybody. I got to get my gloves off so I can turn off the camera. If you have any questions, feel free to just drop me a message. My website's paleojoe.com, and we also have a store. It's the Fossil Place, www.thefossilplace.com. My daughter is the store owner, and we sell some of the fossils that we find. We've got a wide variety of fossils from all across the country, and some from around the world. That's my commercial for the fossil store. Again, Paleo Joe here signing off. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm going to be sitting here working on this Titanotheres bone. Take care. Bye-bye.